Welcome back to the Kang Gang Pod. Today, we are in the presence of Sacramento royalty. She is the only person in California with more boards than DeMontis Sabonis. And I'm talking billboards. Something was wrong, so you know exactly who we had to call. Give it up for a absolute legend, Mrs. Anh Phoong.
Aw, thank you guys for having me. Thank you.
No, it is our honor. So you could probably tell we are not at our normal studio. We are actually at the Phoong Law office. So it is absolutely beautiful here. We have the Plinko right there. So let's just get right into it. So Anh, you were born in San Jose, but you moved to Sacramento at an early age. So can you just walk us through like what it was like growing up in Sacramento and like why are you so proud to call this city your home?
Well, I actually loved being born in San Jose and fondest memories as a child, right? And so we moved to Sacramento and it wasn't by choice. Like it was like a month before my dad's like, oh, by the way, we're moving. And I was actually really heartbroken. But we had to pick up and move and it's just been home ever since. And so we've built, my parents had immigrated to America with nothing, saved up some money, bought some land. And, we were able to build a home and that's our family. It's been our family home. And this is where we still have Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner. To watch the home being constructed. It took a few years after we moved here. And it's home,
That is amazing. What high school did you go to?
Center High.
Shout out Center High.
Shout out Cougars.
We went to Rio Americano and I think we definitely played center in basketball. At least I think they were in our league. Wow.
Yeah.
So what was it like, going to school here, growing up here, and like, do you have any like early like childhood memories that like just stick with you?
Like I said, we had some land in North Highlands, Antelope area, and so it's actually kind of weird because growing up there wasn't as many Chinese or Asians in the northern part of Sacramento as there were like in South Sacramento, right? Or like back then there wasn't even really much of an Elk Grove. And so we grew up in a very non-diverse neighborhood, what it felt like. And so early childhood, we'd always go down to South Sacramento and go to the Oriental stores down there. Wing Was, Vin Fad and all the big stores. And it was always like a highlight to do that. And, but yeah, generally speaking, like growing up in the North Highlands, North Sacramento area, it was always an amazing experience. I didn't have anything bad happen. And I had like a fairly normal childhood, I guess. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, like Sacramento has probably changed drastically since like when you grew up versus what it is now. Like just all of the developments in downtown Sacramento. And what has been like the biggest shift, you think?
Well, like I said, when we came, man, I just remember being a child, like Cowtown. Like it was still very much just agriculture and land everywhere. And when we moved, I remember driving like, there's nothing here. Like we're coming into what it felt like such a small town. And then, as a young child, right, like I didn't really know much, but as we grew up and like later on in life, obviously as I got older, I realized like Sacramento's booming, okay?
That's what we've been saying.
Yeah, Sac is booming. And so, that's where all the love comes from, is just being here so long too. And, a lot of pride just being 916 because it's been so long.
I'd love to hear that.
So people watching probably know, but you are the jersey sponsor for the Kings this season.
Yeah.
As you're rocking it right now. Were sports a big part of your life growing up? Or
Absolutely not. No. Let's make it clear. Anh Phoong played no sports, So growing up in like more of a traditional Asian household with my parents, we actually weren't allowed or even had extracurricular activities. I didn't get that opportunity. Honestly, my parents were working and I don't want to say barely made it. They did the best that they could, for sure. But it wasn't even really an option. So, and I think that's why right now, like, it means more because I didn't experience it when I was younger. And so my kids are involved. They're in sports, and I love it. And like I said, no, disrespect to my parents at all. They did the best they could. But I always did kind of feel like, oh wow, how would it feel like to be on the track team or on the basketball? And I had seen it around school but never even knew what it felt like. So this is like me having the opportunity to be part of a team.
Oh, that's amazing. We need to start a petition right now to get Anh Phoong to the NBA celebrity game.
Woo!
That needs to happen. We'll make it happen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like Sacramento, you also, so after going to Center, you went to AR and then transferred to Sac State.
Yes.
Stingers up. We have a lot.
Go Beavers.
And go
ARC.
Beavers.
Hey,
And
go
go
Beavers
Beavers.
and Stingers up.
We have a lot of Sac State people that listen to this pod, so they are going to be very proud to know that you went there.
Absolutely.
What was your Sac State experience like, and did you know you wanted to initially go into law then?
No. So ARC, I actually didn't know. I mean, like when I was younger, I was like, oh, it'd be cool. And, with the Asian parents, it was always like kind of pushing for something. But I knew that my parents made it clear, like, go to college. And at that age of like 18, 19, I didn't know what I really wanted. I was just like, I'm out of high school and didn't do great. I did okay, B's and C's. And so when I was at Sac State, I did what I felt was safe, which was a business major. And I felt like if I could do business, I could do anything, right? You can get a job, a decent job. And then so sure enough, like almost finishing that major and like thinking about economics. And I was like, I don't really, then I started to like really ask myself the important questions like, do I really see myself doing, like, what do you enjoy, Anne? And that's when I, took a criminal justice course. And I was so fascinated. I'd always been fascinated with the law in some way. Like I loved watching the shows like LAPD and shows back in the days, and cops and robbers. I loved that concept. And so it really just spoke to my heart, honestly. I was like, this is what I need to pursue. And specifically in the criminal justice field, I wanted to be a public defender. I wanted to defend people. I wanted to be an advocate for people who didn't have a voice and ability to speak up. And that's how my beginning of law school or law career started.
Wow. I mean, yeah, watching those type of television shows, I mean, it inspires a ton of people. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, I think I have a question later about your favorite characters. But before we get into that, I wanted to ask you, I mean, people around the city, they view you as a Sacramento success story, but it wasn't always successful for you. Can you tell us about overcoming failure and how you ended up getting into the law program?
Sure. Yeah. No, I mean, I like I said, I was always an average student. I definitely am not high, not a genius. And unlike a lot of the, stereotypes of being Asian and Chinese and sucked at math, hated math, didn't really care for school until I got into, like I said, criminal justice and law school. Well, when I made the decision to go to law school, it was a last minute thing. It was you know what? I told my mom and dad, family, hey, guess what? I'm going to go to law school. And they laughed at me because at that time, and they had every right to, because I wasn't doing my best, right? I was just kind of living and, going with the flow. And they're like, sure, okay, And so sure enough, I didn't study as much as I could have. I was just I'll get in. And no. I bombed, in a bad way. The LSAT's terrible. I walked in and I was shaking. By the time I walked out, I was like, whoa, okay. Fingers crossed that I scored decent enough to get into a school. And so I scored really low, and I knew what it took to get into McGeorge, which was our local law school, right? And I definitely didn't make that criteria. And I was like, well, what are my options? So Lincoln Law School is a California CBA, and I didn't even know about it at the time until I started doing the research. And I was like, well, what can I do? Is this the end of my law career? And so then I found out about them, and I was like, okay, well, they don't care too much, they say, about LSAT scores. And you just have to have a bachelor's degree. I was like, I got that, so let's apply. So I applied, got in for an interview, and the dean was he looked at my score and he's like, oh, whoa. Even we don't take that lower of a score. That's how bad it was, guys. It was the equivalent of pretty much writing my name. But I actually took the test. It was fail.
Oh my God.
So yeah, that was terrible because he really laughed at my face. Wow. And I felt, and I remember it so vividly because I felt that reaction was you're the dean and you're laughing at me, and you're supposed to be an alternative school, and you're supposed to kind of understand we're not the smartest, at least by this test, right, standardized test. And so I pleaded with him. I was like, hey, I was like, I know this test doesn't mean anything. I want this so bad. This is what I'm meant to do. You're my only option. I was pleading with him, and he's like, well, I'll tell you what, young lady. He's like, if you really want to do this, take the LSATs again and score 25% better. That'll meet their minimum. Yeah, that's how low it was. And so sure enough, I cried. That weekend, I remember crying. I was like, oh, that's it. Maybe I'm just not smart enough. And maybe this is a sign. And maybe this is maybe all this is just, in your head, and maybe you're not meant for this. And then after a few days, I was like, you know what? F this shit, okay? I was like, this is what I want. So go study your butt off, Anne, and go and score 25% better. So the next opportunity to do that, sure enough, barely made it, 27%. Like I barely made the cut. And we went back and reapplied, interviewed again, and he accepted me.
That is an incredible story. When you got laughed in your face like that, I assume that gave you like a little chip on your shoulder to like kind of prove him wrong. And like, I mean, I'm going to fast forward a little bit, but after you got in, you graduated your class as valedictorian.
Ass.
Let's go. And I mean, that is like the ultimate like comeback story. So like you like talk about like, did that drive initially come from that initial meeting with him, or did you always have that in you?
No, you know what? I think that definitely, you know, put some fire in my ass, so to speak, right? Because I was like, it was almost one of the first times I actually really wanted something in my life. Like I said, going through college, it was kind of going through the motions, and, you know, I found that it was just like whatever, but like I knew I wanted to go to law school. I knew I wanted to I knew I'd be good. And then for someone to tell me like, haha, like you're not good enough essentially, and are you kidding me? And I mean, he said you might need to figure something else out. And to be told that was like, and I almost believed him, right? Because that whole weekend I spent like, okay, well, what else can I do? Well, what can I do with criminal justice major now? And I was like sad, and I was like, and then obviously like it kicked in. I was like, oh, hell no. I was like, you know what? Show up, and like, you say you want this? Let's see. And so that was like the real first time in my life that I felt like I was really challenged. Like I challenged myself and overcame that. And I think it happens so often. I mean, like, and like, what would my life be like if I let someone else tell me I couldn't do this? You know what I mean? And so that's kind of what really started and really fostered that, you know, like you got to believe in yourself, right? And don't let anyone ever tell you can't do anything. And I mean, and so definitely he played a big part. And when I started in law school, I wasn't great because I didn't know. It's so different than like just regular college, right? The way you're learning and the way they're teaching it. And so I did struggle. It wasn't right off the bat, okay? But I learned it, and I mastered it, and I ended up doing great because I was like, you know what? I remember he said that. Like he told me that I wouldn't. I was like, I'm going to be the valedictorian. And it wasn't like a goal, but it was like I told myself that, like kind of like, let's do it, Ad. And then when it happened, I was almost like, oh my God, I can't believe we did it.
I think that's so inspiring to our listeners. You bringing up the points in your life when you could have just given up, when people have said no, whether it was, you know, your parents or the dean, and you triumphed. Are those, you know, core values? Like, what are some things you tell yourself daily that kind of remind yourself, hey, I can do anything I put my mind to?
Oh my gosh, every day in the morning, I'm telling you guys, I still do this, you know, affirm. Because like, and even if you think like right now, like, oh yeah, she's successful. No, I mean, yes. But I still I have to talk, you know, that self-talk, that positive self-talk is so important at every and all stage, you know, in your life. You have to believe in yourself. So I still to this day say, you're a badass, Anne. And if I'm going into court, if I'm going into here, you're a badass. You're going to kick, you know, you're going to kick his butt, or you're going to do this. And I still like have to tell myself, because there's, you know, like I'd be lying to say that I'm so confident. I don't have any, you know, I don't like think like that. No, it's a struggle. And like, so I think the biggest key and like word of advice I could ever give anyone, you know, whether if it's our youth or just entrepreneurs or people struggling or in a dark space, is like, don't ever give up on yourself and believe in yourself, because ain't nobody gonna do it for you. Like someone can believe in you, but if you don't believe in yourself, it's not going to get you anywhere. So, you know, every day, like tell yourself you're a baddie and mean it.
I'm a baddie.
You're a baddie.
Yes, I am, Anne. I'm a baddie, Anne.
Baddie.
Thank you, Anne. I'm a baddie. Let's go.
So awesome.
No, seriously. And I have that talk with my 10-year-old daughter every night. I'm like, you're a baddie, right? You're a baddie. Because it's so important to learn that at a young age. I didn't really have that at a young age. I didn't really know about it. So it was later on in life. And like, so almost like it came to me, right? Like kind of like I said, the first time I had those experiences. And, you know, my parents didn't, like I said, didn't know any better to teach me anything like that. But now in this day and age, it's almost scary, you know, about like bullies and peer pressure and like
social media, so much judgment in the world today.
You have to overcome all that on your own and understand, like, love the person in the mirror.
I didn't think we were going to be getting motivational speeches on today's episode. No, I'm feeling great right now. I feel like I'm ready to conquer the world after hearing that. You're amazing.
I love that mindset.
I mean, first off, how long was your time at Lincoln Law?
4 years.
So it was 4 years. And obviously, like when you finish your time there, you have to take the bar exam.
Correct.
Can you just educate the audience on like what actually that test entails? Because correct me if I'm wrong, isn't that the hardest test in the nation?
It is the hardest test in the nation.
Can you just like talk about like how did you like get the mindset right? How did you prepare? How did you like even enter that room to go take that exam? And how did you make it out on the other side?
So while I was in law school, I actually worked full time. So Lincoln Law School is a part-time night program. So I worked for the public defender's office while I went to law school for 4.5 years. I did a pre-program and took some summer classes before. And so going into it, I always knew that the end goal, you can finish law school and earn a JD, but you're not a lawyer until you pass the California bar exam. So I knew in my head, and I knew that the 4 years of like studying and prep, I was so prepared. Like I knew like I was dedicated and that I was going to put in the work. And so after law school, you can take a course, and it's called Barbary or any other law bar prep course, and we did that for 9 weeks, and it was a job. I quit. I put my job on hold, and for 9 weeks went to classes, just like everybody else. It's like the normal thing to do, because this test is going to determine your future. If you fail it, you don't move on, right?
You only get one shot?
No. But I mean, like your license, gets extended. Then you take the next one, which isn't until another year or 6 months, right? So it's not like they have one every month, okay? So it's a big deal to go through 3 or 4 years of law school, and then one test is going to say, yes, you're good enough to be a lawyer, okay? So definitely put my heart into. I probably studied more than I should have, but that was just in me. And like the 4 years of being the student I was used to it. Probably slept 4 hours at most, and I think that's why I have sleeping problems, because it started at a young age, and operated on 4 hours. Somehow learned how to function well, and so leading up to it, it was just the mentality. So it's a 3-day exam, guys, 3 8-hour days back to back. Well,
full day's worth, 24 hours of testing?
Back in my time. So in 2011 is when I took the bar. It was 3 days. Currently, California bar is only 2 days. So they shaved off a day, and it's still the hardest bar.
Jeez.
So no, it was just 3 days back to back, and it was just stamina. It was like it's like a marathon, right? They always tell you. And so the one thing that really changed me and made it a real deal breaker was one of the professors that was teaching that prep course. On the first day, he had said, look, you get to sit in this seat. There's 300 of you guys in this room right now, and there's only, 10,000 lawyers in California, whatever the number was. And you get to sit here to be a part of that, 1%. So how great is that? So while you're here, if you're sitting in this seat, don't goof, make it the best that you can so you don't have to take the exam again. Give it your all. I mean, this is all knowing that California is the hardest bar. It was so motivational, and it was just like, instead of being, because I was thinking, oh my God, 8 hours a day of studying, and then you have to do your homework, your work after, oh my God, for the next, 9 weeks, oh, this is gonna suck. And because that's how I felt going in. And then that day, I'm telling you, when he said that, it was like total shift, and I was like, yeah, I'm studying for the bar. Like, how cool is it? Like, I'm studying for the bar. And that makes all the difference, because like I said, day in and day out, like you eat, sleep, and breathe the bar, like for, that time in your life. And you need to give it that full attention so that you can, just take it and be done and give it your all and go all in.
So you basically just shifted the mindset of saying like, oh, I'm not going to dread putting in all this work to get there. I'm going to be happy that I'm doing it. And then that's probably what like propelled you forward. I mean, obviously the hours and hours of studying, but just like that mindset is huge.
Absolutely. And another thing I did, which is congruent to that, is, so remember about the positive self-talk. And I'll show you guys so you guys can see this too. I wrote a poster, poster board, and I put, Anne, you can and you will pass the California bar exam, and I put it on my door. Every morning I said it, just like the same thing about. I was like, I'm gonna pass. Some days I didn't feel like I was gonna pass, but when I read it and said, I was like, I'm gonna pass. No, I am gonna, I'm gonna pass this thing. Like I started to believe it, even on days when I felt like shit. I mean, like, I'm not gonna say like the whole 9 weeks was like, hey, there were definitely moments, when I was like, oh my God, like, got the exam scores back, and I was like, practice exams, and I bombed them. I'm like, how am I ever gonna, there was definitely moments of lots of self-doubt, but I got over them quickly, and then, circle back to, okay, you can do this. You're prepared. You've done 4 years of law. You're not you can do it. And so, and I could tell you how much it means. That's what I was saying. Like, believing in yourself is just, it's the main thing you need to do in life, honestly.
No, that's honestly so beautiful. How did you celebrate when you got the results back?
Oh my God.
We have to hear the story.
Amazing. So back then, I keep saying that because it has been a long time now. You get the exam, the results, it's 6 p.m., right, on like a Friday. And the way they lay it out is you type in your code, your name, and then it'll just say you are on the pass list. Well, so I type it in with my family, like my mom, dad, my brothers and sisters. Everyone's ready to celebrate or be like, oh my God, Anne, or like call it a night. So we didn't know which way it was going to go. I felt good, honestly, going in. I felt good, but you don't ever want to be overconfident. So I was like, I think I passed, but I don't know. So I typed my name in, and then sure enough, in red, it's, so red is a signal like bad. So first it said red, and I'm like, oh. And then it said, you are on the pass list. I'm like, wait, what? You are? And I was like, oh my God, I really had you could see, because like, videoed it, and we're like this, and then we're like going in closer, because we're like, did I pass or not? So it was just like, everyone started screaming, crying, and like, it was the most beautiful moment that I shared with my family. And it was just, we have a video I'll show you guys. It was, and then you have to like ask about your classmates, and it's a very like touchy subject, because like, who passed, because they're gonna text you, and the ones that didn't, you're like, shit, you don't even have to ask. So I had a family, a study group of like 7-8 people that like were with me 4 years. And, we were like, okay, we made a pre-plan that if whoever passed, we're gonna go out and celebrate. But like one of my best friends, who actually is my husband now, didn't pass. And I was tutoring him all 4 years. Like, he was like my student, and he didn't pass. And so it was devastating for me to like, how can, how it is, how do you celebrate yourself when, and it wasn't just him, several people didn't pass. So it was like, we did end up going out, but it wasn't the celebration that we thought it was going to be, because like we wanted, some of our closer people to come out. But I mean, it definitely a memorable night.
I mean, I can't even imagine the emotions that went through your head, your family, your parents, how proud they must have been for you. And then after that, you're like, oh, I feel so terrible I can't even imagine like the whirlwind of emotions that you experienced that night.
Oh, yeah.
But I also saw that, doesn't Lincoln only have like a 47% pass rate?
I think that was high. I think that was like a high. So, I mean, not only was it just, it was our school that was lower, right? Like, not even half of us was going to make it. So we knew that, right? But like, I had such a strong core of people. I mean, we were studying together for 4 years, and we'd go to class. We would study on the weekends too, to get like outside of class and finals, midterms. They were so dedicated. So that's what hurt the most. Like, it was sad for me, because I knew the work they put in. I was there, they were with me, and they deserved to pass. But unfortunately, they, some of them didn't, so it's like, crushing. So I spent like the moment of happy last, and then it was like consoling people and trying to cheer them up and give them, and then obviously they felt bad that we felt bad, because like, go enjoy. So eventually we ended up meeting up the people that did pass. Yeah.
That is, wow. I mean, thank you for sharing that incredible story.
Thank you.
So now that you passed the bar, how did you get to where you are today? How quick did it happen? And like, what were the steps from getting that test results back to now starting your own firm?
So, you pass the bar, that you have a license, you can be an attorney, but you need a job, right? You need someone to hire you. And who's going to hire an attorney that doesn't have experience, right? So when I worked at the public defenders, I was a secretary. I was a legal secretary. I interned for a little bit, but you don't get much experience, So fresh out of law school, and then, I'm sorry, Lincoln wasn't like going to Berkeley Law, like, going to a prestigious law school. So that kind of even put me lower on like the, interview list, I guess. And so, but I was under the impression that I would work for the public defender's office. And when I got my license, there had been a shift in, the public defender. And I was told that there was no job for me. There was due to budget cuts. So when I passed, I was like, yay, I'm going to work for you guys. And, that was always my intention before I even passed, year leading, hey, you remember, I'm going to law school. I want a position here. I made it clear. And so sure enough, it was kind of a time when, they weren't hiring or, hiring freeze. And so I was like, great, I did all this to be a lawyer. Now I ain't got a job. Like, what am I going to do? And I had, at that time, like I said, I went to law school to be a public defender. Like, that's all I could see myself doing. So one of my friends who had, from graduated before, started his own law firm, and he was doing personal injury. And I had gone through an accident myself my last year of law school. And it was a terrible experience because I was hurt. It wasn't my fault, but I was juggling law school and then studying the bar. And this adjuster just kept hounding me. She was like, okay, we've got this, just, you're fine. And here's $1,000. And I'm like, dude, I'm not fine, actually. I can't go to the doctor because I'm so preoccupied with school and then trying to get ready to take this bar. Sure enough, 3 or 4 months later, she kept going at it. And I felt so duped. I was like, you know what? I don't even care at this point. I just want you to stop calling me. Signed whatever release paper, didn't even care about the money because I was just more focused on really what I was doing. And so that was my experience with personal injury. And so when he did that, I felt there was a sense of justice in doing plaintiff's work, helping people in a bad situation was similar to what I wanted to do, at the public defender's office. And so that's when I started, working for them, understood what personal injury was. And I was like, well, he's doing this and he just graduated. Like, he'd only been in the office for like a year or two. And I was like, I was doing a lot of the work. I was doing everything. And I was like, well, why can't I do this on my own? I was like, why, mind you, I've been applying for jobs the whole time. Like, nobody would even call me back. Crickets. Because I didn't have experience really, right? Just, working for my friend for a few months. And that's when it was like, you know what? And like, the more and more I worked for him, the more and more I was like, he's not anything special. Like, and it wasn't like he had this beautiful, prestigious law firm. He was just, it's like a rented office space. It didn't cost too much. So I was like, I could do this. And then it was like, can I really do this? And they're like, well, we're going to try, and that's how it all started. And so Phoong Law, Law Office of Anh Phoong is what it's called, started in our spare bedroom.
No way.
Fair Oaks. Yeah.
Wow. No way.
We didn't even rent an office space because I had no money, but so it was definitely very minimal. Like we did the, co-office space when you needed it. We used the address of, actually the building down here.
Right.
Cal Center Drive 88. So here is this crazy. I tell you, full circle. We rented an office, not a full-time office. It was the ability to use their conference room. Because, the full-time office was $1,000. I didn't have $1,000 every month. I had no clients. So, but we had, that. And so we started to build the clientele, used that for a few years, like 2 or 3 years. We were working from home for not just 6 months. And sure enough, so now here we are 14 years later to buy a building right next to the one we couldn't even afford, rent.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Another full circle moment is you went from no one calling you back to now everyone on the streets of Sacramento, the Bay Area, Los Angeles area, and now Nevada are calling your line. Can you tell us how the classic, most iconic, catchy slogan of all time, when there's something wrong, call Anh Phoong, how did that come about?
So I always have to give credit to my husband because he gets mad when I don't. But yes, it was one of those hot tub moments. We were talking about our future, and I was like, is this it? We were doing good. So it wasn't until 6 years into having a practice of my own, having a really decent clientele, like without advertising.
Oh, wow. With
just the local base of friends, networking, meeting people, did really good, comfortable. And I was like, is this it? And as I really started to think well, I don't know, I think we could do more. And so jokingly, I was like, what if we advertise? And my husband's like, we got to come up with something catchy. And it always goes to the backstory. So I went to Orlando, I went to Florida for a cruise. And the moment I got out of there was this injury lawyer, and it was 444 pain or injury. And I was singing their song. They were on buses, they were on billboards. So it's not original. I definitely don't take credit for it. It was in Florida. And I was like, what is going on? By the end of my trip, I heard them and saw them so much, I was so upset. I was like, I'm not even from Florida. I'm in California at home now, still thinking about this damn jingle. And the light went on. And when I came back to Sacramento, I was like, and looking. I was like, there's nothing here like that. And so that's when the idea of like, okay, let's advertise. But then if we're going to do that, we needed a slogan. We needed something catchy because the 444 pain was so easy. It was like, whatever it was so easy to remember. And it was like kind of cheesy. And so when my husband said something wrong, Kang Phoong, we laughed. I was like, oh, that's so stupid. I was like, no, that's never going to work. That's too cheesy. And then next night I was like, I kept saying something wrong, Kang. I was like, something wrong, Kang Phoong. I was like, and so we went with it.
You're like, we have something here. We have something. We got to act now.
Did it take off right away, or was there a moment that was like, oh, let's keep this rolling, let's get on every billboard, or was it?
Yeah, so in Sacramento at that time, because now is different, right? Now is different. So at that time, there was only a couple people on billboards and buses, and they were like, older American men, right? And so for me, it was about breaking a barrier. Like I was like, you don't see, even down there in Florida, it was the same thing. You don't see, a female, lawyer that owns her own law firm, let alone an Asian female. And I was like, you know what? If I'm going to do this, it's going to be because I want to represent, and I wanted our community to know there was a different type of lawyer out there than your cookie cutter lawyer that you always see, or and who I was and who I was about is different. And my services are available because I just don't think people would know. Like, how else, unless you're doing. And so I put myself out there. Like, really, I felt like for, like, it was, as much as it was, oh yeah, I was like trying to expand my business. It was also really just to let people know, like, you don't just have to hire that lawyer. You see, that type of lawyer. And sure enough, it actually, the gal that I had with the marketing, she was like, I think you're going to really hit it off because you are different. And this is something we haven't seen here before. So you better be ready for this. And I only had like 5 employees at that time.
Wow.
And
so look where we're at now.
Yeah.
We're at the office, everyone. Oh my goodness.
Yes. And so she's like, are you ready for this? So I'm like, yeah, of course I'm ready. And sure enough, like the phone started ringing like that day. And it was, do you want to know who called? It wasn't people that were in an accident. It was mothers and daughters saying, oh, my daughter loves you. Oh my gosh, we saw your billboard. We've never seen that before. It wasn't people that were in accidents or needed a lawyer. It was just like, you go, girl.
Wow. Oh my God.
First thing, and I'm like, this is great. And then I was kind of like, but am I going to get a call like that for my services? And sure enough, the services called, the people who needed a lawyer, started calling right after.
So, and that was, remind me of the year when the first billboard went up?
2016.
Never forget. That's a great year. We'll never forget 2016 because, 9 years later and
9 years.
The takeover has happened.
Yes.
It's so funny. I have a funny story. I called Johnny. I was like, you'll never guess who I got for the podcast. And right as I told him, I drive by the billboard with you flexing. I'm like, it was like just such an awesome moment. And I see the buses. My favorite is the bus, especially when I'm at a red light and then the bus comes across from you and you just see Anna like covering your whole point of view. It's just so, everyone I'm sure has just awesome stories. And we're a Sacramento Kings podcast. We go to so many of the games and you are just covered in the arena, but like we mentioned earlier, you made history by putting your patch on the 2025-2026
It looks
jersey.
good too.
Ann has it on right now. It looks absolutely amazing. I said it. I commented on the post when it was launched. This is the greatest sponsor, I think, in the entire NBA. Not only just because of like what you mean to the city and like that you're the only woman that owns a firm that got to be on the jersey. It's just so great. And I can't wait to go to the team store and just buy every single variation of every single player because we know that it's only going to last a year.
Which is kind of cool. Then it makes you feel like, oh my God, I got it, right? Like,
yeah.
It's not going to be here. I tell you, I am still like pinching myself. And this was a last minute deal. This wasn't in our plan. This wasn't in the plan for the Kings. It was brought to us and it was like, we had joked about it. I don't know if you saw this 4 years ago.
Oh, I did
yes.
see that.
4 years ago, before their last partner, there was the spot was open, right? The patches sponsor was open, and someone had tweeted and joked about, well, we all know if it's Sacramento, it needs to be something wrong, Kang Phoong, and sure enough, 4 years, like when I saw that 4 years ago, I laughed. I was like, oh, that's so funny. That would never happen. That would never happen, because like that would never happen, right? And such a surreal moment to say full circle 4 years later. So like I'm still like is this so real? And now, it is, seeing the players and seeing the media day. But, I'm so proud of this just because of like, when we first talked about it being a patch, like I said, no, I don't want to be a patch. I don't need to do that. Like I don't even, it was funny when we joked about it 4 years, but no. Then they actually, when they presented it to us, we're like, okay, but if you want to present it to us, we'll take a look, what does this package look like? And I'm telling you, when I say it's not just the patch, like, so they woo us, they pick us up, take us to row one, have a nice lunch, and bam, right there is the mock-up of the Phoong Law jersey. And I'm like, you guys, and I was like, it looks good, but let's talk, right? And so, going through, the packet, first thing was like, you would be the first, like, law firm to feature on any NBA jersey. I was like, cool. You would be the first Asian woman-owned law firm in the entire NBA. I was like, okay, chills. Started getting teary-eyed, and my rep, Desiree, we were like, when she said that, like, I was like, my husband and I, I was like, okay, that means something. Like, that really meant something, to me. And then we went over the deck, and I was like, this is not just a patch, it's a story. And it's like women empowerment. The Purple Promise is kind of like everything like I've built myself upon, like what I represent. And if you know my work in like the community, like anything that has to do with, the underserved women, children, I genuinely believe like this is the story of like, it's not about my story. And that's the biggest thing, is this is not just about Phoong Law being on a patch. And like what we're doing this entire season is empowering other women, businesses, and nonprofits, and really trying to uplift them, right? Mm-hmm. And really show that we can break barriers on all levels. And so to me, that's what this means. So part of the sponsorship is, and this is like I said, why I was sold was like, it's not like, oh, you get a jersey. It's, we're going to give you the platform to highlight other businesses and to help other businesses, other women-owned, and get and just help. Okay, women in crisis, And so I got to select these two nonprofits, and so every port. And I don't know if you guys heard this, but for the jersey sale, every jersey sold, a portion of the sales is going to go to these two nonprofits. And they're going to highlight them the entire year. We're going to have a women's empowerment day. There's I don't know. It's just, there's so much that is going around this patch. And so my sister's house, which is for domestic violence and sexual assault survivors, they're going to get a donation at the end of this because of this. And then single moms. I'm sorry, I'm drawing blank. Single moms, I forgot the exact name, sorry, but it's for single moms. And I'm sure you guys.
We grew up with single moms, so we know. Yeah. So
right? Like
when my mom listens to this, she'll probably shed a tear.
I'm getting choked up right now. It is so important, and so, what I really wanted when I was selecting these organizations was, making sure that we are empowering these women who are in, not so great situations. And I've been in some myself. And my family's been in some, and everyone's gonna know someone that's either been a victim of domestic violence, abuse, or a single mom, or just having trouble, just struggling. With the single moms, it wasn't just like, oh, financial assistance. It was, they may be doing okay, but they're not doing great. They want to take the next step up. And so when I spoke with Tara, the director of that organization, it was so powerful to speak with her. She said, and these are people who are like barely making the daycare, working enough to pay the bills, pay the mortgage, but they can't level up. And this is what we do, help them level up with training. Getting them to be the next CEOs. And I was like, oh man, let's do this. Wow. And so it's so, when I think about that,
it's so fascinating how this patch and your first ever billboards have the same kind of message where, yes, you're affecting underserved communities. And that's, being Asian American myself, me and Chris are both half Filipino. That's so important. And it's so wild how years after your first billboards, you're doing the same thing with a statement on NBA jerseys, just on a bigger platform. That's really inspiring to our listeners. Thank you.
And that's the moment when I knew, I say it over and over again, it's not about Phoong Law being on a patch. I don't care. But the notion that we can empower possibly the young gals out there, the women out there that are struggling and saying, I'm your typical girl. I didn't grow up rich. I didn't have money. My parents were collecting recyclables when we came to America. Okay? We did that for years. I remember going with my parents. I remember so many moments that my parents were CPS were called because they would take us to work as kids. And they struggled so hard. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
So this patch means a lot to me and my family too, and it's like a homage to our heritage. It's a homage to immigrant families and immigrant stories. I have a lot of like Asian pride, I really do. I have a lot of cultural pride because of the struggles that I witnessed. You know, I was actually born in America, so I'm the Asian-born Chinese. But my older sister and my older brother were in Vietnam. They were born in Vietnam, and they immigrated over here with my parents, and that journey alone was horrific. My sister almost died on her way here. I mean, that's just like, there are so many immigrant stories. That's actually the classic immigrant story. So to be here and to have our family name as well, and the story behind it is not a story of just myself. Like, I really feel like this is a story that is so significant to so many in our community that went through the similar types of struggles, and to overcome everything. I just really like the notion that I can empower people and other, girls and immigrants and people who have had setbacks, and like, look, I made it. And like, I'm telling you, life wasn't easy for me, but I made it. And that's like everybody else. Like they say, like, the 1%ers, right, make up, the population, and as far as like wealth. But you don't need to be a part of that, right? Like, I wasn't in the 1%. No, I was 99. We were on food stamps. We were on food stamps for the first decade, okay? Like, until, and that's such a typical story. So, but like, goodness and greatness and like amazing things can happen, right, to your average person. And that's kind of like the story I want to say is like, you might be, thinking you might be in a position where, you may not believe in yourself. You may feel like, oh, I'm doomed, but like, you're not. And like, so like for this patch to kind of represent almost like an iron suit, like something that's powerful, and like, look, she didn't come from that, she made it, and so can you. That's the story of the patch.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I got so much.
No, thank you so much for sharing. I mean, it seems like this patch is like cementing your legacy, not only for your family, for the city, for the team, for like just the whole entire community. I think that's what I gathered from from everything. I mean, that was just,
thank you.
I'm really, really excited that you get to be partnered with the Sacramento Kings at this high of a level, because you're going to be affecting so many people's lives in a positive way. And it's so cool to see that our hometown team that we love so much is backing someone like you. Like, absolutely. We love that more than anything.
Let's think about this. The Kings could have selected any global corporation.
That's the part I was just thinking about, like the fact that you didn't like pitch to them; they came to you.
No.
That's so awesome.
And so that's why I keep saying, like, the Kings picked me, like, and I'm like, almost, it was a surreal moment, and like, it was very much, I had almost just imposter syndrome, where I felt like, no, why would they want me? I'm just Anh Phoong. I'm now just getting into Nevada. I'm not even tri-state. I'm not like, and then I got over real quick. I was like, damn right, it's you, man. See, that
self-affirmations, yes.
But no, I mean, you think about their current other partners, right? They partner with Kaiser. They partner with Jamba Juice, Quick Quack, Duck Wash. I mean, there's so many I can't even, like, they're partnered with like nationwide corporations, and yet they chose me. And it's such an honor, because like, I mean, look, Nike, like, come on, like,
so
no one knows
crazy.
Nike. I think someone commented, they're like, I'm from the East Coast, I'm a Kings fan, I don't know who Phoong Law is. I love
They'll know now. They'll know now.
Well, and I love that comment, because it actually really was like, you're right, and that's exactly why they chose me, because they chose a Sacramento-based firm. Yeah. Like, that's the hometown. Like, this is the home. This is what Sacramento, like, one of the pitch deck was, we are Sacramento. Like, the Kings and Anh Phoong are Sacramento.
Kudos to the Kings for being so community-driven always, and just forward-thinking, and that's,
And
great
I mean, like I said, this could be Jamba Juice right now. Like, but no, like, it was so impactful. I'm telling you, like, that meeting, there was 7 of us, 6, 7 of us, 6, 7. Sorry, that's my daughter. Okay.
I didn't get it at first. Sorry,
I knew
that was not intentional. That was not intentional. My 5-year-old says that. Okay. So, and like when they hit the deck about, the Purple Promise and the woman empowerment, I mean, like, I'm telling you, chills. Everyone was like tear, like it meant so much to everyone in that room. Like when they pitched it, and that's when we knew it was like, this is so much more, and like, so we're so honored for the Kings to pick us.
And I just want to say, I think I could speak for the whole entire fan base. I think the reaction when it was released, people were so excited and so thrilled. And I will be at the team store ASAP to get those patches. I need them. I want to take off all the patches I have on all my other jerseys and put these ones on.
I was telling Chris that we need to put stickers over the old patches.
Oh my
or
God,
something.
that's so funny.
Just to show the pride.
No, yeah, we're major supporters.
And gotta throw a shot, but seriously, every dollar you spend on these jerseys this year, it's like it's gonna go back and pay it forward to these 2 nonprofits that serve our local community. It ain't going like to spread nationwide. That was very important to me, that it went to the people need to hear in the community.
It's so important for people that
community.
might not know that.
Yeah.
No, that is, I mean, yeah. Again, like what you accomplished earlier this week. Oh, the city thanks you. The city thanks you. Since we are a Kings podcast, we have to ask you some Kings questions.
Okay.
So, well, first let's start off with, you partnered with Keegan Murray.
Correct.
Can you talk about what is it like? Because we are huge fans of Keegan Murray. Everyone, I mean, the whole city loves Keegan Murray so much. Murray. Can you tell us like what it's like working with a very unique man like Keegan Murray?
He's amazing. He's so down to earth, and boy, is he serious. Yes. But once you crack him, he's so sweet. He's like just genuine, like so sweet, like in his story. So we brought him to our law academy at Burbank. And so with my partnership with him, I brought him to, have you guys, Burbank High School?
Oh, of course, yeah.
So yeah, and the students got there, they got to sit down in a very private, intimate setting with him. And he talked about, his upbringing and his journey. And he was laughing as that. It was so funny.
Wow.
He had some really good advice for the students. And he was so amazing in that spotlight. Like, you see a different side. And we're like, can you at least smile? And he's like, I can smile here. It's like, I got to keep that face on the floor, on the court,
Oh, my God. What type of Kings fan are you? Are you yelling at the TV? Are you cussing at the refs? Now, I mean, if you're sitting in row 1, you probably won't be doing that. But what type of Kings fan? Maybe a little bit of like Mark Cuban. Well, yeah. So what type of Kings fan are you?
It just depends. Like sometimes I can be very reserved, and sometimes like what, and then So my kids, 3, 5, and 10-year-old. Okay. My 3-year-old, I don't know if you guys seen this, but they had last year had a little, someone had made, a small configuration of the beam, and there's a beam and the golden one, and I got it as a gift. And then, so it's in our house, it's in our kitchen. So when we don't make it to the games or it's a away game, we run out to the kitchen, light the beam. My 2-year-old, who's 3 now, was like, light the beam, and we pushed the button, the beam lights. Our fountain in my house, I gotta show you pictures, it's purple.
Let's go. This is the type of stuff I like to hear.
Okay?
This is amazing.
But at the games, so if we're in our loft, we're crazy, and then when I'm a little out closer to the public, I'm like,
No, that is
keep it
so
a little
cool.
reserved.
We're very vocal Kings fans as well,
yeah.
so we could relate.
We've been through it.
Yeah.
We've seen the ups, we've seen the downs, but I think this patch is gonna bring the team going upwards, awesome. and we're hoping so much.
Yes.
When was it? I forget the date, but it was last season. There was an Anh Phoong night at the arena.
Were you guys there?
I cannot believe that I and Johnny and our third member, RT, were not in attendance, but I do have a friend that was in attendance. Uh-huh. His name is Tony. He posted a photo of you and him on Anh Phoong night doing a prom pose, and I met up with him last night because he is a big Anh Phoong fan, and he lent me
that's great.
the Anh Phoong billboard T-shirt. So this is one of the, shouts out to Logan Ivy Heckin' Sick on Instagram who created this awesome shirt. What you've done just obviously resonates with the community. What was like that night where the Kings dedicated a whole entire game to you?
So this year they're doing that. I'm gonna message you guys to make sure you're there.
Oh, we'll be
Yes.
there. Well, I will never miss it again.
You know, it was like, so when we had thought about it and they asked me, I'm like, what do you want to do? I was like, I want to be in the community. I want to be out there. Like, are you sure? And so we did like, a meet and greet kind of. And they set it up. And I was like, at first, like we kind of did last year. We were passing out, the Phoong Law sponsored towels and great. And then like, I don't know, people line up, and then sure enough, there was like, I didn't know. And then it was like, everyone showed up and I had met so many fans. Like it's so weird for me to have like say that because I'm so humbled and honored to say that I have fans. But it was an amazing night, and they're like, so what do you want to do? Like during they had a little they gave me a little spot like for either like courtside or like like a game or something funny or so I was like. We brainstormed last year. The year before that, I was on a tricycle and I raced one of the contestants. So I was like, I want to do something goofy because I want people to know this side of me. I don't think you see it when you see the billboard. Like I'm so serious, like I'm
100%.
right.
I see you in the red right here.
Yeah,
I'm
and you're just
oh.
like, yeah. But I've got this like, I don't know if you guys could tell.
Oh, of course we could tell.
I have
We
this
could
like
tell.
quirky, fun side of me, and I was like, I want people to see that because like that's just part of who I am. If I'm being real. And I was like, so what we did was they thought, they gave several options. And one day we will see Anh Phoong in this sumo inflatable wrestling thing. Okay. I was like, I would love to do that. That just looks fun.
We're going to see Anh Phoong do a frog splash off the top rope on all the Kings fans in Sacramento.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, if you guys got some creative ideas, they're open.
Oh, and check your DMs. I'll be sending you every idea underneath the sun. My friend Tony, again, we were talking for about an hour last night when I picked up the shirt, and he showed me a video of at the arena they were passing fat heads of Anh Phoong across the stage.
It was so funny. My head was being just tossed all over, and I was laughing my butt off because it was so funny. Like you could just see it, and like from that view, and like it was just funny to watch. Like
That's
like, go ahead and
awesome.
mess up my head. It's okay.
If you guys have any ideas of what you want to see Anh Phoong do with the Sacramento Kings community this upcoming season, leave them in the comments because
That would be great.
we're going to be sending them to her because we want Ann to just continue being herself and just doing the greatest things that she could do. So I have a game
Okay.
that I have for you that I have presented. This game is called Something Wrong, and I have prepared images where these photos are slightly construed. So
Okay.
you're going to have to tell me if these are
Wrong.
something wrong or nothing wrong.
Okay.
So for the ones watching, we're going to put these on the screen, so don't worry. But let me just pull this up.
That is,
We're going to start off with this image right here.
oh yeah, something's wrong.
That is something wrong right there. That is something wrong. We have the most beautiful.
That just looks wrong.
That looks that does not look right.
Nope.
That there is definitely something
No.
wrong. The next photo we have, this is just the Kings logo. Is there something wrong there?
Depends if I turn it down. Yes, something's wrong.
There's something wrong. There's something wrong. Obviously, it's spelled. So we started off pretty easy. It's gonna get a little bit harder.
Okay.
Is there something wrong with this right here?
No, there isn't, right?
There's nothing wrong.
God,
This
I
is
had to study that.
this is my favorite billboard of all time with the Kings jersey. There's definitely
Shot-
nothing wrong with
I
this.
just did a photo shoot yesterday with the new jersey. So you're going to see the billboard with the Phoong jersey.
I can't wait. I can't wait. Let's go. This one. Is there something wrong?
Yeah, heck yeah, there's something wrong. Where's my patch?
Oh, yes. Yeah, okay. There's
Oh, okay.
There's something else.
More wrong. Okay, yeah, that's a bonus, right? It's a bonus's body.
That is so funny. I was showing this to my brother and he thought the same thing.
Oh.
There's
something else.
It's something else. That's actually
13? That's not his.
No, that's his number. That's his number.
His earring, his face. That's not his. That's someone else's body, right? Like it's his face on someone else's body.
So the correct answer is that is his twin brother Chris Murray on top of
It's like, that's
Keegan
not his
Murray.
face.
It doesn't look symmetrical. Yeah.
I tried my best to put the face over.
I was like, he's so smiley. I was like, maybe he took my advice.
I think it's the chin hair. I think that's
Yeah, the chin hair too.
And the
Chris
earring,
has
the
it.
earring for sure.
Is there an earring?
Isn't there?
It looks like it.
It looks
yeah.
like it in the photo, maybe.
Yeah.
Chris
but
has
the
a little bit
body
on the
looked
side.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a bonus.
Give me that one.
You got that one correct.
Oh God.
Okay, so the next photo. Is there something wrong or nothing
Oh
wrong?
wow, nothing's wrong with that.
You just drink a lot of Jamba Juice.
Yeah, exactly. So whose arms are those? Is it like?
So we just enhanced the arms. We just made them look a little bit
It's our
bigger.
third host, RT's arms.
Yeah.
The guy that
that's
couldn't make it.
But the thing is, I mean, he
third of the actual stuff.
when Sabonis gets fired up, sometimes he
yeah.
looks like that though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
not too far off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there something wrong or nothing wrong with this photo right here?
Nothing is wrong. Actually, I should have worn stilettos. That's
Oh, can you tell the people the story of this photo that is right here?
This
How?
photo?
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you do this?
You know, I work out, so I do, you know, have to attribute that to having pretty decent legs and leg strength because you have to.
And flexibility.
Have some quads and flexibility, so I might like, you know, pretty good core strength and balance. But I should do like the dupes of that video because it wasn't like, oh my God, I just shot.
Did you fall? Did you fall trying one of these attempts?
Not too bad, of course. You know, just like a little wobble off. You know.
Well, luckily it happened in the right place. If something
exactly.
went wrong.
I know. And I tell my staff that all the time. You share all our parties. I'm like, we got to be careful. We can't get hurt here.
That's incredible.
Okay, this one stumped a few. I want to see what you think. Is there something wrong with this photo?
So I don't know his number. So, oh yeah, the leg. No, the sleeve. No. Okay, it's got my tag on it.
Yeah, I had to make sure to use a lot of the new Media Day pictures. But you were on the right track.
The leg?
It is his number. So
Said it at first,
I was like,
yeah.
I didn't know his
so he's number 23. I flip-flopped the numbers to make it
good
look a little,
one.
try to make it
Good.
blend in.
Yeah, pretty good.
Okay, this is my favorite
one.
one.
That's a tough one.
This is my favorite one.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's exactly what I should send this to him.
Please
That's how
do.
it makes me feel.
He needs to see this. Yes, so
Flip it on him.
Anne is definitely taller than
Oh
Shaq.
my god, yes.
That's so funny.
Okay. Is there something wrong or nothing wrong here?
Oh my god. Ooh,
That might be. That might
Next
that
up.
might need to happen actually.
Oh man, hey, that's you get these visions in my head now.
Hey, this is a big office space. You could throw a little shop in here.
Sure can.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this one you're gonna really have to look.
0. He's 0. I think he is.
Yes, he is number 0. This is Malik Monk.
It's his mouth,
yeah.
right? Is it his smile in his eyes? That's definitely his face. Something
Okay.
with his face.
It's not on the body. Keep looking.
Oh, Anh Phoong, nothing's wrong. Nothing is wrong with that signature.
Anne Phoong's signature on the basketball.
Oh,
Instead
I
of
love
Adam
that.
Silver, Anne Phoong's signature.
Nothing's
better than the
wrong.
original.
Oh,
That's amazing.
and we have one more. Oh no, 2 more. Okay, this again was at Media Day, showing off the jerseys. This is DeMar DeRozan. They're doing
Oh
an
yeah,
up close
the
photo.
logo is wrong.
Yes, it's
Yes,
on the
that's
different
absolutely
side,
wrong.
opposite
Yeah.
side. And then the last one.
Oh.
This, I'm gonna put it out there. If this might be a sign, so we might come back to this in a few years.
You got some ideas.
This could happen.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, nothing is wrong. Oh my God. Put it
Nothing
out
is
there.
wrong.
Let's see. Oh my God.
Oh, I love
That's
that.
Wild.
So if that were to happen, that would be.
Wow.
Oh my
Trajectory's
gosh.
looking like.
Honestly, it looks really, really good. It looks so
You
good.
did real good.
Thank you so much. We'll just end off with some more fun questions because I think it's really important to just show the audience that you are not, like you said, a typical lawyer. You're not these people that you see on the billboards. Like, you are uniquely yourself and you're fun. I was scrolling on your Instagram the other day and I found this hilarious video of a comedian named J.R. De Guzman.
Oh my
Am I
goodness,
saying-
my ex-boyfriend.
If you guys have not seen this video, go on Anne's Instagram and look for this video. He did a comedy set. He can't avoid seeing his ex-girlfriend on all these billboards. And then he wrote a song about Anh Phoong.
There's something wrong. Just call
Anh
Anh
Phoong. It's so good. So you've had so many like unique experiences. Obviously that one was just so
So
awesome.
did you see the one where I show up at his
I sure
show?
did.
Okay,
I
that's
sure
yeah,
did.
yeah.
That, and then you were able. Then I'm sure he invited you to the show, and
Yeah,
then you.
he did. Yeah, so it was funny because like first we seen it because he had done the show in San Jose, And then we were, everyone was sharing with me. And then I think we're like, this is so funny. And we're like, you should come to my show. I'm like, I should come to your show and show up. And sure enough, like, it worked out that he was going to be in San Francisco. And there I was, like, in San Francisco. It was so funny. Like, that moment when I walked up, like, because, people didn't know we were hid in the back. And then we walked in, and as he's saying that, and it was so funny. He's awesome.
Because he was going on tour. I saw it was multiple dates, so he's probably doing that material everywhere.
Too, right? You guys know that he's from Sacramento.
Oh,
he's 916. Yeah.
I love that.
Tag him.
Oh, we have to. When I saw that, I was like, this is brilliant.
And it was funny. So someone had commented, when the jersey released, she's like, "Oh, I bet you he's mad how good his girlfriend's doing now." And I was like, "Love it."
He can never watch a Kings game ever again without his heart breaking.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Recently, one of the biggest Twitch streamers in the entire world, I Show Speed, had your billboard in the background.
Isn't that crazy?
Which is just a testament to you, to just putting your billboards everywhere. I think his streams get about 500,000 to like a million,
millions,
live viewers.
Yeah.
So like, there's a shot of him. I think he's like standing on something tall, but right in the background perfectly was the Anh Phoong billboard. What are some other like really unique, interesting, crazy stories that have happened just from your name and your recognition being out there?
So I don't know if you guys watched last year. There was a movie that came out on Netflix, and it was like Dean. Oh man, why am I forgetting? It was Dean. Oh, I can't. Well, I'll have to like get back to you on that. But it's on Netflix. It's coming out on Netflix, and this is all in LA, Hollywood. So I'm in LA, and I start seeing. I'm like, this guy looks like that looks like my billboard, and it was a guy in a red sweater. And the movie is about an imposter. His name is Dean. And then they said, for cleaning, like he cleans up messes, like, so, for your cleaning needs, call Dean, like in a rhyme, 1-800 call Dean, whatever, or like, and so I see one and I'm like, man, there's a lot. And we did not understand. We did not get it. We did not click. And I see the bus go by. I'm like, dude, I thought that was me, right? Because it's same blue and yellow with the red. And I'm like, that's my billboard. And then they're like, that's not you. And then we're like, this is so weird. So we had seen like 5 of those. We're like, okay, something's going on. And this is, so we Googled it. Sure enough, on Netflix, they were using my billboard. And it was funny. I didn't even know about it. But they were using, they were doing an imposter of billboard lawyers in LA. And so they had done it not only about mine, but there were like Sweet James. I don't know if you see his billboards.
Oh, yeah.
And a couple of other lawyers in LA. So they had, this is like all over LA, but like for 3 months before the movie premiered on Netflix, they were advertising it and, using my billboard.
So you used the same colors, like the yellow and blue with the red?
Yeah, he was imitating me. He was being an imposter of me. Wow. And so it's crazy. And like when we realized what was happening, like then we understood, I was like, oh my God, that's actually kind of cool.
That is so cool.
Netflix.
I need to watch that.
You have to watch it. Yeah, I'll shoot you guys the images too. You're gonna be like, we were so puzzled. But
they easily could have probably just like, edited it onto them, but they actually put the actual billboards up in LA?
Yeah, no, there were buses, there was benches, and we're like, we were so confused because we just kept seeing him, and I'm like, there's something going on. Like I was like, and I didn't hear about the movie, until I saw that, and then so sure enough, but it was a good movie, that I have to watch this movie now,
That is so cool.
Yeah, definitely things like that. It's like kind of cool, right? Like
I think that just shows how great of a job that you've done.
And at that point, so this was last year, we had only been in LA for like 6 months. 6 months to be considered like the top lawyers in LA, like or billboard lawyers that were advertised. Like I was like, how did they know me that fast? Like the other people had been there for like 10 years, 20 years doing the same thing, right? And I'm like, well, okay, I'll take it.
I think that just shows your billboards a little bit better than the other lawyers out there.
Yeah.
I'll be the first to say it. I see Drake the lawyer.
Oh, yeah.
I see Drake's trying to play off of, Drake. Real original Drake. I'm just kidding, Drake. But
we like Drake.
We like Drake. We're
So you guys know, the billboard lawyers here. I'm friends with almost all of them.
See, I heard that on the podcast that was actually posted yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was like, I thought maybe it was a really competitive business because there's not too many of them, but
Yeah.
I heard that you invited them all to your holiday party, which is just so cool. I mean,
I don't, and then like I say it, like I said it again, like I don't feel like they're not my competitors. Like we're all in the same, we're all lawyers, we're all trying to help people. And if you have a better ad than me, or if your ad speaks better to another person, that's your clientele, that's your base. I'm not here to like do anything, right? Like I've got my niche, you've got yours, and there's enough for everybody. And I just don't see it as, but it's a dog eat dog world. Trust me, personal
has to
injury
be,
is
I'm
not,
sure.
especially this type of area of law. You have to be, and I just don't feel like that. It has to be that way. Like I could just be like, oh, f you, and like, you're my, And in fact, I'll tell you this story that I didn't share. One of the, I had met somebody at actually Shaq's party. That photo where Shaq was taken. He comes up to me, goes, "Hi, Ann." I'm like, "Hi, I've never met this man before." He's like, I go, "Do I know you?" And I go, "You look familiar." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm your competitor." I go, "You're my competitor?" And I was like, "How are you my competitor?" He's like, "Well, I do billboards too." And I'm like, "You're not my competitor." I was like, "You're my friend." It was so fun. He was like, and I think he was kind of taken back by that. I was like, we're not in competition with each other. Like, stop it. I was just like, no, we're cool, dude. He came up, he's such a nice guy. And like, and like we ended up exchanging numbers.
So now Ann and Shaq are friends. Oh my God. Because Shaq is extremely competitive. So I bet you he kind of wanted to get a little bit of friendly banter out of you, but you're like, no, we're friends. Shaq, what are you talking about?
No. It wasn't Shaq. It was at his event.
Yeah.
It was another
I thought you said Shaq.
Yeah, no, it was at the Shaq event. Where another personal injury lawyer in our area, he came up to me, and I didn't know him. I'd never met this one. And that's when, he was like, "I'm your competitor." I'm like, "You're not my competitor." I was like, "Stop."
Kill him with kindness, right?
Yeah, exactly. That too. It was like, we're buddies now. I was like, now you met me. I was like, we're cool, okay? I was like, there's enough for everybody. Like, we don't need to be like that, And it's so I don't know if you guys had heard. So this is flip story to that about being competitors and how dog eat dog this business is. There's people who impersonate me or take my business. People will Google Anh Phoong, something wrong, or Phoong Law, 866 Got Pain, and you can buy leads. So you can buy, sponsor, and buy my name. Other law firms would like purchase, ads, which is all legal. But anyhow, so to the consumer who isn't, really savvy and just thinks, well, I search for Anh Phoong, they click on the first thing that comes up, they think it's Anh Phoong. And they don't read the fine print. So I've had like so many, like it's been crazy that I guess it's a pat on my back. But it's also pretty disgusting that like I've built this brand and I've built my firm and services that people are stealing knowingly. Like they'll call and say, "Oh, this is Anh Phoong." Yeah, it's Anh Phoong. She works for us. "Oh, yeah. And don't worry. Like she's partnered with us." And I mean, like, I'm not making this up. Like, it's so bad. We actually, it's bad. Let's just say that. But it's just disgusting to me that people would do that because I would never. Right. I make sure that we don't buy ads of other firms' names because I don't want someone that doesn't want me. If someone's looking for James, Sweet James, and they get me, like, they want him. Let them go where they're trying to find. But no, like these people, these other firms are intentionally seeking out clients that are looking for me.
Well, now we know who made that Netflix movie.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I
right?
can't believe that.
Crazy?
That's even a thing that.
Dog eat dog.
Dog eat dog, yeah.
Awful.
But
Oh my gosh. I want to ask you one more fun question. I'm sure you have a bunch lined up too. But who are like your favorite fictional like lawyers, attorneys in TV and film?
so I grew up watching, like, well, grew up, but I love Law and Order so much.
So
I mean,
good.
especially
So good.
SVU.
Yeah.
The classic.
Big SVU guy right here.
Benson.
I mean, like, oh my gosh. But no, there wasn't any like great, like, it's, like I didn't watch like a ton of like lawyers, but now, like, I guess in the last 10 years, yes, but not growing up, right? So, okay, love Suits.
Oh,
Harvey and
yes.
like those, and Jessica's a badass. So like I try to be like, I'm Jessica today,
Have you seen How to Get Away with Murder?
Yes, I
with
have.
Annalise Keating.
Yes. that's
Oh
good
my
too.
gosh,
Yeah,
she
that's
is
pretty
top
fun.
tier.
She is. That's
She's
an
top
amazing
tier.
one too. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's a lot of, I mean, obviously besides what the show is about, I'm sure there's a lot of, similarities there with just
Absolutely.
that fight.
There is.
I could see you on an SVU episode. That's got to be next up. I think.
Well,
There's billboards, there's basketball, there's Giants. We got to get you in
going.
TV and
I
movies.
know.
So, I mean, obviously on this rise, you've met a lot of, celebrities. We're talking about Shaq, Kings players. Has there ever been anyone that you've met that has left you a little starstruck when you met them?
Well, I don't think I've met that many.
Yeah.
No. I mean, like, obviously, no, I don't think I've met anyone other than, the Kings and.
It's probably the other way around. They're probably starstruck by you. That's probably what it is. That's probably what it is.
But something kind of cool is I am going to go to a Hollywood premiere for a new movie that's featuring, which this will get me starstruck, Keanu Reeves.
Oh, wow.
And Seth Rogen.
Oh gosh, Seth Rogen.
The movie.
The movie's coming out. It's about like LA, so they invited me because they wanted like the LA. So we're just talking about that. So yeah, I just got invited. And so Monday we'll be going to the premiere of that movie, and so I'll be lucky. Like if I get my, I love Keanu Reeves. I think he's an amazing
a legend.
Yeah,
Oh, that's so cool. And Seth Rogen too, obviously.
Yeah.
Comedic goat. I wanted to ask you, since you juggle so many different hats, like how do you balance like time with your kids, time with running the firm, doing stuff with the Kings, all the community outreach?
A whole other podcast on that subject alone. Like we have to do a whole one on that. No, just because it's hard, and I like never want to make it look like it's easy because it's not. Like by all means, like it's hard, and that's why I think like as much as it's like, oh man, look at her, but it's also like, don't think that this is an easy thing to do. There's definitely a struggle for that balance. There's no balance. Some days it's more work, and some days it's more my kids, and a lot of days I'm just like, what day is today, and who's picking up, and who like I don't even know what's going on. Like, but you make do, right? You always make it work. And I don't think it's any different from other mothers out there, right? Like you juggle and struggle with a lot. But it's definitely not easy. I definitely don't want to make it look like it's a piece of cake. Like it's far from it. But, luckily I do have so much support. Like, we have family. Like my husband's good. Our family's there and they help us with the kids. We've got a really good support system. So whenever I'm away from my kids, I know they're in good hands. And that's like the number one important thing.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's what the foundation of Sacramento is all about.
Yep.
If you have one message to give to the audience listening about any upcoming maybe events or Sacramento Kings related like secrets that you have coming out, like that's for people to maybe pin something in their calendar about something that's going to be coming up.
Secret, but so I said there's a couple of like women empowerment events coming up in the 2026 season. There's a whole women empowerment day, and there's a seminar, like a whole exhibit day that I'll be hosting. But on the 24th, opening night is actually the Jersey tribute. So go to that game.
Oh, we'll be there. We have to be there.
Yeah. So opening game is they're going to have a little special tribute for the jersey.
I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. I'll make sure to get there early.
Yeah.
And we just want to thank you so much. I don't want to take too much more of your time. You got a meeting soon, so we don't want to overstep, but we just want to thank you again so much for having us at your beautiful office. You're just incredible. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.